Okay, quick video for myself, Harvey Goldman. No cuts, no edits, no filters, and no hair. So today's video is a very quick one in regards to 5 reasons why Millennials and Gen Z are never really going to own a home. So let's get into it. So we know, obviously, that the UK is facing a home ownership crisis. It's a massive talking point at the moment. Younger generations are struggling, rather than the same old narrative about house prices being high and blah, blah, blah. Let's have a look at some actual reasons why this is, or why it seems that they're high. So basically, wages versus house prices, that's the first point. So back in the 70s or towards the 70s, you could buy a house for about 2.5 times your salary. Moving forward, about 25 years, it was 3 or 4 times your salary in the 90s. In 2025, it's 8 to 12 times your salary, and good luck keeping up with repayments because of mortgage rates. So this basically makes deposits, let alone the actual costs of the mortgage and everything else, it makes the deposits unobtainable for many people. Point 2 is the buy-to-let boom and also landlord control. We know that most properties are owned by landlords rather than first-time buyers. They're simple facts. There are ever more landlords out there. The lack of affordable housing stock due to mass buy-ups hasn't helped, and obviously current houses that are being built going to, shall we say, boat people. Not wanting to get into that, but there you go. Simple facts. It doesn't help. Point 3, high interest rates basically cause mortgage struggles. And we know that even those who can afford deposits then get hit with a 6% mortgage rate, which is bonkers. Banking have stupid rules that basically disadvantage single buyers. And there is obviously the old sort of conundrum, if you like. If somebody can afford £1,000 a month on rent, and maybe they've paid that without default for 2 years, 3 years, should they not be allowed to get a mortgage? Why do they need to prove income if they can prove they pay rent? It's backwards. It's absolutely backwards. None of it helps. Point 4, the cost of living and the crisis that we're currently in basically means that people just don't have savings. People can't save for a house when about 60% of their income goes on rent and bills. And then, of course, they have to eat. They have to get to work. They have to put clothes on their children. They have to put clothes on themselves. They might want some avocado toast and a Costa coffee, perhaps at the weekend. They just don't have the money to put to one side for a mortgage, let alone anything for investments. It's not sustainable. The bank of mum and dad, for most, is long closed. It's not an option for most people anymore. Point number 5, government policies and schemes that don't really work. The Help to Buy scheme, that was kind of a flash in the pan. It's pretty much non-existent now. Shared ownership seemed like a great idea, but when you really get into it, it's an expensive scam that just puts money in the pockets of the councils at the expense of the poor bugger that wants to buy a house. The only people that benefit from any of these issues, shall we say, are investors, are developers, and obviously the greedy councils wanting to line their pockets before anybody else. So what can be done? What can be done to fix this? How do we get out of this? How do we find a solution? I mean, the harsh reality is there isn't really a fix. You need to either work your way out of it, you need to improve your situation income-wise through extra jobs, working extra hours, begging for pay rises. You need to hustle where you can, or just cut costs. It all feels like it's doing a lot from your end for not a lot of result on the other. Yes, you can change subscriptions, you can cancel this, you can buy cheaper versions of that and all the rest of it. It will help you a little bit. It helped me a little bit. It's not going to buy you a house. It's not going to get you a deposit on a house. You would have to budget for 20 years to save 20 grand for a deposit. My budgeting saved me about I think it was £1,386 for this year. So for me to get a deposit on a £200,000 property, even a bad deposit of just 10%, that's like 18 years. It's not sustainable. So something needs to be done. I've no idea what it is. I'm not the economist. I'm not the clued up financial guy. I'm just the guy that, I don't know, notices oddities and asks a lot of questions. So let me know what your thoughts on this are. How do we fix it? How have we got to where we are? Let me know in the comments. What can we do to get out of it? How do we improve things, if not for ourselves, for our children? How do we make it better for them when they need to buy houses in 10, 15, 20 years' time, if ever? Let me know. Anyway, YouTube's going to pop another video up here somewhere. I'm going to get out and try and sun my bald head. You never know. And yeah, like, follow, subscribe, ring the bell, all that jazz. More tomorrow. Goldman, peace out.